what sort of qualities are we looking for in the people we want to vote in this election? Right. Now, let me start by asking this question. A lot of questions have been raised in Parliament, Shanmugam, about MPs not having integrity. In particular, this was directed at the AHTC issue, Workers' Party. There are many people out there who feel that the PAP has adopted a bullying tactics, sledgehammer, minister after minister coming out to wreck the Workers' Party, right? And the Workers' Party has had many challenges in taking over. These were the points that they've raised. And in the last forum that I chaired at the NUSS, when this question was put to Gerald Gyam, why is it that, I think it was Sim Ann, who was on the panel representing the PAP, she asked, she said that the PAP was frustrated, that the Workers' Party was not forthcoming with the explanations. And his response, and I quote, was, "We explained every point that has been brought up, which demands an explanation." You know, now I'd like your response. What is it that you saw as the issue, you meaning the PAP, in this entire matter? If the Workers' Party claims that they have come clean, it's a pity now that we don't have the Workers' Party, but if the Workers' Party did say, time and time again, Sylvia in particular, that they have said whatever they have to say, and the matter was brought up to the High Court, if all these things have happened, why is the PAP still harping on this issue?
You mentioned the High Court, so let's not talk about what I say or the government says. Let's just look at what the High Court said. The High Court said that Ms. Lim misled Parliament. The High Court said that the conduct of the Workers' Party was a height of financial irresponsibility. I'm quoting, by the way. The High Court said that it was a travesty for the Town Council to have ignored their duties and obligations, and that there were numerous breaches. The High Court also said that if this conduct had been done in a company, it may attract civil, even criminal action, and there were grave and serious questions regarding the validity and propriety of payments made by EPTAC to related parties in excess of $25 million. And what did their auditors say? Their auditors said, their own auditors, Foucault and Tan, said the Workers' Party was refusing to give them documents and information relating to these very transactions. So you won't answer to your auditors. And I quote to you what the Auditor General's report says. The Town Council, despite repeated requests, did not provide us with all the critical documents relating to these transactions, the very transactions which were highly criticized by the High Court. So they say the answer, but each time you ask them, in Parliament, what did they say? Ms. Lim said to me, my other MPs will answer. That was her answer. And Mr. Pritam Singh said, Minister, I will not answer your questions. I will answer to my residents. Mr. Gerald Gyam says to you, oh, we have answered whatever needs to be answered. What was their final point? We will answer at the rallies, in the one forum where they cannot be asked questions. That's where they will answer.
So,
and wait, let me finish. The point is not a question of bullying or not bullying. We have succeeded in Singapore by making sure that public institutions and public funds have been treated properly with integrity, and I think those standards, financial rectitude, integrity, honesty, incorruptibility, these are the virtues, values that I'm sure Paul will agree with, Ben will agree with, and Eugene will agree with, and I'm sure even you will agree with, which have brought us here. And my point is, these are monies. Last Saturday, Ms. Lim issued a statement saying there has been no overpayment. This is in response to newspaper articles which showed that their friends made $3 million in profits in 1 year, a husband and wife team. And she said, well, that's fair, and there was no overpayment. Unbeknown to all of us, at the very moment, for a few weeks, they have been trying to claw back $450,000 and also holding back another $3.2 million. So if there was no overpayment and if everything was fair and according to contract as she claims, then why hold these monies back? No answer in the rallies, no answer anywhere. Basically, if you have all these things happening, financial issues, serious issues, do you keep quiet? Is it bullying to raise it and ask for answers? All we want are answers.
Eugene?
I think the unfortunate thing is, the AHTC has become conflated with, not say conflated, but I think people are lost in all the minutiae. Unfortunately, I think again, the electorate either doesn't have the bandwidth or doesn't want to follow the very close discussions that have been raised and
there are different versions
in the High Court judgment.
Different
Yeah. So there are competing.
We're talking about the High Court version.
There are competing narratives, right? So the government says one thing, the opposition says, the Workers' Party says another thing, and I think I'm just concerned that this election could just be reduced to 6 letters, right? AHTC, and I think there are bigger issues that we can go to, and I think the government has put its point across, and I think it should trust the wisdom of the voters,
Yes.
to decide, how they want to deal with the issue.
Yeah.
Well, if they say things in the rallies which are not true, which they said last night, we are not in jail, but there are a lot of things that you can do without being in jail, including misleading Parliament. And so we have to respond.
I don't think you can get away with misleading Parliament, because I think there's a
I'm
Parliamentary
putting-
Privileges Committee.
Well, you could have formed a Parliamentary Privileges
Yeah.
Committee and charged, but
Right.
we didn't do that. But I'm just telling you what the High Court said.
Right.
No, I think,
And you would,
yeah.
I'm sure you would say integrity is important.
Of course.
Thank
so,
you.
So the issue, the point that I want to raise here is that the concern that the PAP appears to have here is issue of integrity. It's not the technicality.
No, I think
it's an issue of integrity.
it's again the control issue. It's the DNA. You see, integrity seems to apply to AHTC, but not necessarily to the PA. And that is what a lot of people online and a lot of people are raising questions about.
What do you mean by that? Because
What
in
I
the
mean is
PA's
that-
case, the man was asked to step aside.
Right.
There was a full investigation.
Right.
And it was found that there was no loss of any funds.
Right.
And at the same time, the reason why he did it
Right.
is because, look, on the ground, he needed to pay immediately.
$56,000 for a bonding
Right.
trip for
And
for himself and his
there was
grassroots
investigations. And if you want to challenge that, that's a separate point.
people. No, I don't.
But and at the same time,
Right.
in other instances, when the AGO report pointed out some wrongdoing, you know that there are criminal proceedings afoot.
Right.
So this is not a government that will say we hide this. If there is corruption or there is wrongdoing at any level, we will go after them.